Alaska is renowned for its scenic beauty and diverse wildlife. Visitors trek into the wilderness or head out on the chilly waters to see the splendor and majesty of the last frontier. The Juneau Guiding Company in Juneau takes the experience one step further with the Whale and Glaciers Science Adventure, where observers become citizen scientists.
You know, it's really easy to come to Alaska and do a tour where you go to the Mendenhall Glacier, or to do a tour where you go out and go whale watching. But the real story of the Tongass National Forest is connecting the two together. You know, when you get to see how the elements on the land connect with the elements on the water, that kind of brings the whole story together.
While enjoying a sightseeing trip, the citizen scientists also collect data that are later relayed to researchers and scientific organizations, including the Juneau Watershed Partnership, the Alaska Department of Environmental Conservation, and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA.
We really have all kinds of partners. You know, for each activity we do, we have at least one or two partners that we have to join with to educate our guides, to be able to give us the story about the activity we're doing, get the equipment that we need to do it, go out in the field, accomplish that all summer, and then to be able to wrap that up and present that research of those samples at the end of the season.
The first stop on the tour is Auk Bay, just a short trip north of Juneau. Here the group boards a specially designed safari boat for their adventure. The first data is collected by checking a crab pot for an invasive crab species that can severely damage the local ecosystem. Then it's time for a little whale watching.
One of the things that we're discovering out on Stevens Passage, where we go whale watching, is that we have some of the same whales are returning each year to feed. Some of the whales stay in Juneau year-round, in the winter, in this area. And then some whales are new that come back. And the reason we know that is we can take photographs of each whale's tail fluke. And a fluke uniquely identifies a whale, much like a fingerprint does for a person. So we actually have guests who will use our camera to take photos out on the tour, and then at the end of the year we send them to a researcher at the University of Alaska Fairbanks.
After a sample is taken for the National Phytoplankton Monitoring Network, the citizen scientists head back to the dock for the second leg of their journey. Near the Mendenhall Glacier, the group takes samples that are providing tangible results.
When we're on Steep Creek and we're noticing changes on that creek that are leading us to some pretty profound questions, that's very exciting. So we have found that some of the bugs in Steep Creek are in certain sections of the creek, but not in other sections of the creek. And that leads us to a question: why?
Future citizen scientists may help to answer that question one day. But until then, there's a lot to experience, enjoy, and better understand about the Alaskan wilderness.
We want people to take home a deeper appreciation for the science behind the scenery in Alaska, to understand, you know, humpback whales and their behaviors and their habitat, to be able to understand why the Mendenhall Glacier is retreating and what causes that, and also to be able to take these lessons they learn on the tour here home with them so they can ask questions and take a step towards understanding the lessons they can learn at home.
For CNN, I'm Holly Furfer.